The Giants picked up their 7th win of the season in Week 10 with a home victory over the Houston Texans, and the G-Men got solid player performances from players on both sides of the ball. New York Post sports columnist Mark Cannizzaro, he joins me now from MetLife Stadium to discuss which players stood out today. Mark, long time no see. How's it going?
It's going great, Dex. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Giants are doing well. They are 7-2 on the season. So let's talk some Big Blue football. Now, on offense, Mark, when it comes to Big Blue, we generally talk about Saquon Barkley, but Darius Slayton, he was huge for the Giants offense today. So what did you make of his performance in Week 10 and also his growth through this season?
Well, he had a terrific game today, Dexter. You know, he completely deked out the safety on that 54-yard catch and run. It was a great play on Daniel Jones's part, getting the ball out with a guy in his face. But Darius really made it all happen from there. I really feel like, I mean, speaking to the guys in the locker room after the game, I spoke to Sterling Shepard at length about him, who's been with him his entire 4 years that Darius has been here. And these guys all – he's a favorite of all of them just because he's kind of endured a lot of stuff. He was the low man on the totem pole when he came in 2019. This past training camp, you know, most people thought he was either going to be traded or released because of the depth chart at receiver. A couple injuries occurred, including Sterling himself, who's out for the year. And now, essentially, he's a start. You know, Slayton's a starter, and he's probably the biggest play threat on the team right now. So, I mean, his perseverance and the way he handled it really has gained a lot of attention, not only of the players in the locker room, but Brian Daboll. Shepard is kind of, Slayton has kind of showed himself as the exact kind of guy that Brian Daboll wants on his team, which is kind of ironic since we all thought he wasn't going to be on the team at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he's made the most of his opportunities this season. And we move talking about the defensive side of the ball here, Mark. Defensively, the Giants, they held the Texans to 16 points, and they just surrendered 1 touchdown. Dexter Lawrence, he was a huge part of that. How impressive you been with the defensive tackle this season?
Well, this is clearly his best season. He's been a pretty good player all the way through. But as I wrote in my story for tonight and tomorrow, I think Davis Mills is going to go to bed with a tattoo of a number 9 and a number 7 in blue and white on his chest because, I mean, literally Dexter spent his entire day in the Houston quarterback's lap. And that really caught the attention of a lot of his defensive teammates. Leonard Williams said every time he turned around, Dexter was hitting Mills. So he had a fantastic game today. He was a difference maker today, as Slayton was on the other side of the ball. And, Wink Martindale, the Giants defensive coordinator a few weeks ago, came out, and this is a guy that's been in the league for a long time, and said that Dexter's one of his, if not the favorite player he's ever coached. And I think those are pretty powerful words from somebody who's been as accomplished as Wink has.
Yeah, very strong words there, very strong season from Dexter Lawrence. Now, Mark, are you more encouraged about this Giants team now that they won a game on Sunday where they didn't trail, or do you still have questions about their ceiling in 2022?
Listen, this is a team with flaws, Dexter. We all know it. We see it. But, in this league right now, there's no dominant team. I mean, really, we thought the Bills were marching to the Super Bowl. They've had their struggles at times. This is just a really, really well-coached team that is playing really good disciplined football. And, we've seen at times that, that Daniel Jones can let it fly a little bit. And, he quietly had a fantastic game today. Only threw the ball 17 times for 197 yards and a couple touchdowns. So, listen, I don't think there's any reason why the Giants can't compete and get deep into January just because there's not a lot of name the dominant team out there, really. There isn't one. So, the Giants play this season like, why not us and why not?
Why not? And there's still time, and they're improving on their record, 7-2 right now for the New York Giants. That is Mark Cannizzaro, New York Post sports columnist. Mark, good to talk to you. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Dexter. Talk to you soon.
We'll talk soon.